It's a little different.
Rocking it out.
Going on here.
Don't you like it? It's like a vibe, man.
Sounds like I'm like getting ready to play Nintendo and I'm getting ready to defeat the boss.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I love ending a stream and starting a stream with music. So anyway, so this week we're talking about you know how like a lot of people just don't understand who they're making content for. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they you know, they're like, I understand my niche. It was such a reminiscent to what I used to say. They're like, I really am like making videos about, you know, real estate because that's my niche. And I'm like, that's a pretty broad subject. I mean, are you talking about condos about real estate? Or are you talking about commercial real estate? Or, well, no, residential. And I'm like, okay, well, what about it? You know, like we went through this whole thing there. He was like, I guess I haven't been as intentional as I thought. And I'm like, probably not. Probably not. So
yeah, it's hard because like you also like you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you know people think, well, you know, YouTube is a big place and I'm talking about real estate, and so that's defining like what I'm talking about, what I'm, you know, like what I'm all about. And it really isn't. Like there's so many different audiences or sub audiences inside of real estate. Like, and I think the easiest way to explain this, and we talk about this a lot, is like do you say the same things that you say to a seller that do you say to a buyer, right? Like, I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of people are like, well, yeah, my niche is real estate, but yeah, I say one thing to a buyer, I say another thing to a seller. I say something totally different to someone that's doing new construction than someone that is relocating. So like there's all these different things that go into understanding how to get more views, how to get leads. You can't just do real estate and then put, you know, like we've seen it all. Like you put like your buying, selling, touring, all these other things, and then your kid's birthday party is in there too, and like all these other things that you see, and you're wondering like, why am I not getting any traction on YouTube?
I did all those food tours of my area. You know, I checked out the local pizza shop.
I did a review.
Did a whole review. There was a real estate agent that I know out of Florida, and she had, you know, just not knowing, she had made a video about a bike motorcycle tour, you know, bike motorcycles, you know, and it was going all through Key West. And so she just put that on there, you know, like, oh, motorcycle tour coming through Key West. And of course, every year once that tour comes through Key West, her video would pop off. And then she was wondering why her channel wasn't doing well. Well, her top performing video was about motorcycles in Key West, you know.
Yeah.
It's a hard time.
Yeah, well, it goes back to like understanding like what YouTube's goal is, and that they're going to show the information that people are interested in or wanting to watch. And the hardest thing is being consistent in your messaging to a specific viewer so that YouTube knows, oh, this type of viewer likes this content, so I'm going to show them all of this content.
So. Yep. That's what happens. It's kind of like one of those things, you know, how like if you ever go shopping and you're just kind of like, oh, I really wanted to check out this, you know, let's just say shampoo. And then you go on, you know, you go on TikTok because you see a review of that shampoo. And then you go on Google and you look at a shampoo again. Then you go on Facebook and it's there. And then you go on Twitter and it's there. And then you go
following you everywhere.
It's following you everywhere. Well, that is the same kind of idea that YouTube does, you know, like for a hot minute, I was like into really like all these different kinds of sourdough breads. And I just looked up like 2 videos for the next week. All I got was like bread, you know, and until I like kind of switched it around. And that's what YouTube is doing with your content. So if, you know, if you end up talking about anything related to real estate, when you have identified your niche and your avatar, YouTube will serve it to that person right when they need it, because they know they're watching you. They're always watching you, and they want you to stay on YouTube as long as possible. So they'll serve it to that specific avatar right when they need it.
Yeah, so that brings up a good point of having good good message, having a clear message, and getting the point across. But it's hard because how people get stuck. They're like,
Right.
I made a video on, let's say I'm focusing on home buyers. I've made a video on the 5 tips to avoid when buying a home. So like how many times can I do that, right? And there's actually a really good answer to that, but like a lot of it is that we think, well, I made this video, so I can't do that again, or I can't talk about that stuff again.
Yeah, you think you said it and forget it. And if in the end you'll think, well, because I have all these, I have 3,500 subscribers, 3,500 people should be watching it. First off, that's not how that works. 3,500 people aren't going to watch that video, because people come in for the information that they need for the time that they need it, right? We're not entertainment channels, we're education channels, and not you every day of the year, for the next 5 years are they going to be researching how to buy or sell a home, right? So don't look at it that way. The other thing too is, like, most of the people that are watching it are brand new subscribers. So even though you did that video a year ago, it's probably time to refresh it, because you did it a year ago. And all the people that watched it a year ago are probably long gone. They've already gone through the whole entire process. So it's time for you to do a new version of that same video.
Yeah. And I'm willing to bet that if you do it a second time or a third time or a fourth time, that each time you do it, and it's not word for word copying, because you learn as an agent through your experience. So then the same thing is true with making videos. Your next video that you do on that, I guarantee, is going to be better than the video that you posted a year ago, especially if you're making content like regularly.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing too, is like, you'll end up figuring out, like, you watch that first version of that video and you've done it several times since then. You're like, oh, you're so much more confident and like so much more comfortable with the camera, because you know exactly what you're going to say. You're just like, here we go again,
Yeah.
And if anybody's ever watched my channel, I have a lot of information about manufactured homes and modular homes. But if you're really to watch all those videos, I really don't say anything different. Not really. But I know that most of the people that are watching have never seen me before. So I don't have a problem saying it again. What I usually do, if I know that I'm going to recycle a lot of the same points, is that I make sure that that first 2 minutes is something that nobody has ever heard before. So they'll continue to listen to at the end. Because you'd be surprised how many people that have watched all these videos and were like, oh, I had no idea about number 5. I'm like, how could you not?
Yeah. Well, it triggers them at a different time, right? Like that's the thing, is like we learn by watching and doing, and if you and by repetition. And if it's been a minute, they could have understood that and totally forgotten it, because maybe it wasn't pertinent at the time that they were getting ready to make a purchase. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, I got to really understand this, because I'm getting way closer now, because the intent is they're getting ready to make a move. And so people listen, and they hear things, and you could say the same thing over and over, and they'll get different things at different times. So that's the other thing, is I think a lot of people are like, well, I've already said it once, so it's good. I can set it and forget it. And there are some things that are evergreen that can sit there and can continually give you leads. But there's also there's nothing wrong with adding another video to that playlist with more information that maybe you didn't cover on that specific video.
Right, because I mean, there's how many ways can you say you can buy a manufactured home? But I'm just gonna put in the search bar real quick, and I'm going to show everybody manufactured home, right? And because the thing is, I'm also trying to hit different pain points. So even though I've talked about manufactured homes, that doesn't mean that all right, hold on. I'm going to share the screen. Present. Share the screen. Kristina Smallhorn. Okay, here we go. So like again, this in the description has manufactured homes, more about manufactured homes. But look, these are top picks. This one's about Amazon. This one is about manufactured homes. Just got easier because of loan requirements had changed. This is why I hate manufactured homes. This is why pitfalls. I'll probably look the hidden traps, horrible investment, hidden costs. I'm always hitting it again and again and again because I know that all 393,000 people from 7 months ago are not looking for that same information today.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that even though you're very specific on your content, like the way that you deliver it, the way that you say it, and you're even different locations on some things that you're not at the same place. So it's not like you're saying the same thing, but I think we put ourselves in a box and say, well, I've already done that, I can't do it again. But
right.
There's a saying that says whatever you focus on, it expands. And when you first started doing, manufactured homes, or let's even just say like affordable housing for your channel, like how did you ever imagine that you would have so many different pieces of content that fit just on that topic?
No. And matter of fact, I really was annoyed because when I had that meeting with Daryl Eves and he said, oh, it really looks like your niche is like alternative housing, because we were massaging the whole idea who we thought my avatar was, and he was like, it's obviously like somebody that's what's this manufactured home thing, and I explained to him what it was. He was like, oh, I think they might be interested in tiny homes. I think they might be interested in modular homes. Like you may want to, that's interesting. You may want to check that out. So I kind of took his advice and like, well, I'll test it and see what happens. It ended up working. But then that made me refocus because it helped me understand that they're just looking for something affordable. It had nothing to do with the fact of that being a modular home, manufactured home, a traditional home, something that it was the most affordable thing they could buy, right? And then I'm like, well, if they're looking for an affordable thing to buy, sometimes they're looking for land. So I did a bunch of different land videos. And then they kind of petered out. And that happens too, by the way.
Yeah.
They peter out. Like you'll have some content that like, you just can't gain momentum with again. And you know what you do with that content? You put it on a shelf for another day. And then when you can't come up with anything, you go, oh, hello. And you dust it off and you make another video that relates to land,
Yeah. And you never know, it might pop off because it's been a minute and maybe the cycle of real estate is shifted into a different, section than when you first made that content. So
yeah.
It really is super important. The other thing that I would like to just say while we're on the live stream is that if any of you have questions, or if you're making content and you're feeling stuck or you're wanting ideas, like now's as good a time as any to get information live from Kristina and myself on helping you with your channel if you're feeling stuck or if you're feeling like you don't have ideas or whatever. So go ahead and type your comments below and or over onto the side, however you're watching this, and we'll definitely reach out to you on that stuff. We do have 2 channel reviews, but that will go towards the very end. We got plenty of time to talk with you guys, and I know if you're watching, you have some curiosity, something that you're doing. So let's engage. What's that?
We got some lurkers. That's what it is.
We got a lot of lurkers.
Well, that video, that live stream that we did with Jackie Baker, one of our students, if you're watching, you don't know who this is. Last week, we did a live stream with Jackie Baker, who had happened to recently go viral. And she's one of our students. So maybe these are some of the people that are lurking in the background. Oh, look, somebody dropped off because they got called out.
They're like, oh boy, I don't want to be called out.
Oh yeah, but you know what? I think this is a perfect opportunity to kind of show people something that is going to be changing with our course, because it's important to them, and especially if they're considering doing this. So Joe and I have we're updating the course, and with that update, This will be the last group of people, which ends in, I think, in 10, 11 days, something like that, Joe?
13 days. Yeah, the 30th.
Yeah, so 13 days. The next group will start, and this will be the last group that starts that gets lifetime coaching. So I'm going to show you this on the screen here. I'm going to show you if you just go to realestatevideogeeks.com, there's also a link in the description of this live stream. You can go there and you can sign up for our course. It is just $3 under like $2,997. I was just going to say $3 under $3,000. So, and you can sign up. Just go ahead and sign up. And again, lifetime coaching. You will always have coaching. And if anybody's a student that's sitting out there, just know that you're already in. You will always have lifetime coaching.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so scared."
We're not going to abandon you. You're in.
No. You're still in. You will have lifetime coaching. You're not going to have to pay for coaching after this, but anybody that wants lifetime coaching afterwards is going to have to pay a monthly fee. It has not been established yet, but I wanted to give you the opportunity. You have like 13 more days to sign up for the next group, and you will get lifetime coaching for just a hair under $3,000. That was my pitch. What do you think, Joe?
I like your pitch. Let's see what Joe says.
Joe. Oh, another Joe. Good looking Joe.
Yep. He says, and you'll need that lifetime coaching. He's one of our students. So
yeah, it really does help. The thing is, I also want to say this, just because it's 8 weeks doesn't mean you can't access the 8 weeks ever again. So once you purchase those 8 weeks, you can consistently and constantly go through those 8 weeks. You could round robin 1 million times in that 8 weeks.
Yep.
Just the live group coaching that we're going to be having afterwards will be with the students that have already been in it and that are paying that monthly fee.
Yeah, we have. And the thing is, you'll have access to Discord as well. Like all of the stuff that you'll get to see, it's just that live coaching part that will change from what we've done. So moving forward. So if that's not an incentive to sign up, I really don't know what is. So
Alicia, I love her. She says, "Thanks. I definitely need the hand holding." Smile. Do you know I needed the hand holding for pronouncing your name correctly? I have said it wrong so many different times, and then one time she actually like phonetically spelled it out for me. I'm like,
in the Discord, Alicia, and then she's like smiling, like. Let's see if you.
I was thankful for that. My dyslexic butt needed that.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting. Just going on to the stuff with our course and what we've had is we have had a number, because we really haven't been doing the course that long, and we've had a number of students that have done really, really well as far as progression, as far as views and getting leads. And the thing that is like super exciting to me is it doesn't matter if you have a big following already or not. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of people that you're getting leads from, or you're not getting any, or if you feel stuck. Like the thing is that what we teach fits every person wherever they're at in their YouTube journey. It's not something that is, well, you have to do, you have to be at this certain level. This is for people that have never even heard of YouTube, and for people that have 200 and how many subscribers do you have now? 270 something.
What's so crazy? I really should pay attention to that. People always ask me, and I'm like,
it's more the views, but hey, I'm just saying subscribers because
it's over 50 million views. If you want to know that,
yeah, only 50 million.
Yeah, over 50 million. It's 286,632 subscribers.
So okay, so just since we launched this campaign, which has been a couple rounds, right? When we updated this video, you were at like 260,000. So it's probably been like 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. So the system works like regardless of where you're at on your journey. And the biggest reason why it does is because it's a proven method that Daryl Eves came up with, that he developed clear back in 2013. So this is something that like, yeah, if you don't know, Google him, But that's the thing, is he's developed this, and he has allowed us to teach specifically to real estate agents a more concise way of doing this that will help you as agents achieve your goals, which is to, to grow your business, to get organic leads. But that's just one tip of what we actually teach. There's so many ways that you can actually make even more money, not just doing it through referrals or getting leads to go do, showings or referral leads. Like, there's so much more to it. Yeah, there he is. I know that guy.
Yeah, he also wrote a pretty cool book.
He did.
Yeah. It's called, there it is, the YouTube Formula. Can you see that right there?
Yep, I can see it.
So if you don't know who he is and you're questioning if you should join the course or whatever, go ahead and read that book. My story of how I found Daryl Eves and what he's done for me is in there. Daryl got a lot of real estate agents in that course because I recommended it so much. And the thing is that a lot of people don't know enough about YouTube to really be able to handle the amount of information that Daryl is putting out. So Joe and I, with the help of Daryl, simplified. I say it's like the Diet Coke.
Yeah.
The Diet Coke of Channel Jumpstart. We simplified it and made it very applicable for real estate. And so that way, you're getting everything you need to get to really, really take your channel to the next level. But, like at some point you're going to outgrow Joe and I. And when you do, that's when you should go to Channel Jumpstart.
Yep. I concur. And
I concur.
And so does Jen.
Yeah. We say that a lot around here. We concur.
We do. That's the thing is, like, we genuinely do these live streams. We want you guys to have success. We want you to be able to grow. We want you to be able to ask questions. We're here every week, and we really, really do have a passion for this. And the thing that helps us, like, we love helping people. Like, that's probably one of the things that we love the most, is when we see someone get it and then apply it, and then they see the results and are just like in awe that it like worked, because they were like, I've been trying so many different things and even though it's hard, like, this is hard work. Like, what we're telling you, it's not like an easy button. This isn't like a magic bullet, like you could just automatically start making good content. It takes work, and it takes studying, and it takes understanding who your viewer is. But once you do, and you launch your channel, then you're going to find success. And not only that, but you're going to get leads, you're going to get referrals, you're going to get all these things that we talk about. And what's awesome is our students, because this takes a while, right? This isn't something that just happens overnight. But now we're getting multiple students that are following the system, that haven't given up, and are like absolutely like crushing it. Like, so crazy how good their results are. And they're all like, I just follow the system. Once
they do it.
Yep.
If they do it, yeah.
If they do it, right. They have to obviously do it, but I haven't seen one yet that hasn't worked if they follow what we teach. Exactly.
You're exactly right. Gainesville, Florida Living says, recently started posting community tours. These are old and short. Doing new ones that are longer, but learning to edit and thumbnails myself. And a lot of us started with this. And the home tours do great. There are total channels, complete channels that are just doing one thing, and that's home tours. I will tell you that the home tours that I've seen that have had the best return on investment are the ones that are like 20 minutes long. They're not highly super edited. They may have a few little sound effects here and there, or like a little lower third that comes in or whatever. Not overly complicated. I mean, you could do it on iMovie. You wouldn't even need to buy any kind of special software to do it. Those seem to be the most successful. Another thing I know about home tour channels, you put the house and the price, and that's it.
And you make sure that channel is specifically for home tours. Don't add any other things to that. Just keep it very specific to home tours. And and be consistent. Make sure you're uploading consistently, and it will grow for sure.
Yep, you will build it, they will come. There's a guy out in Austin that does it. I mean, he's very consistent. There's a guy out in New Jersey, and he just does new construction. There's a lady out in Atlanta that's been doing it forever, and I swear to you, I think her videos are like 9 minutes long, and she doesn't do anything special. She's like 3-bedroom,
Just
2-bath.
walk through the house.
Yeah, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Pool, Atlanta. She doesn't have to get fancy with her titles because it's so expected of what she's going to do, because she's been so consistent for the last 8 years doing the same exact thing. But they are real videos. They are real views, which blew my mind. And she gets a heck of a business from doing that. A heck of a business.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could literally get a selfie stick or a DJI Osmo, and you just walk around and pretty much upload just that when you're done.
You could even live stream. Yeah. You could even live stream just walking through houses on live streams. I'm not a big fan of shorts until you master long form content. I always know my students, if you're a new student, I tell you, don't do shorts until you master long form content. To this day, I still don't have them on my own channel. The only exception to this, for me, when I talk to people, is if you have just a home tour channel.
Right.
If you're going through home tours, that is right in line, because there's a lot of people that do this when they're looking at home tours. And there's a lot of people that just sit there and watch home tours. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's kind of stupid. Like, they're not even going to buy a house for me. Why would I want that? The thing is, it's just driving more traffic. It's getting more eyeballs on your listings, on your content, and it's more likely to even spread out to more people that are interested in buying in that area. It's all a numbers game. The more numbers you get, the more clients you're going to get.
Yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of people, they're like, well, I don't even, does it even work, right? Like, a lot of people are like, if I'm doing YouTube, how does it work? Like, do people really get leads? We had a call this week with someone, and they asked literally that question, and we were like, we both have received leads from YouTube, so yes, it totally works. And it was very interesting, because he was just like, well, I just don't know if that works. I don't want to put effort into something that I don't think is gonna work. And the thing is that YouTube right now is so open for real estate agents. There are hardly any agents. When you look at how many members there are, how many subscribers, how many users on YouTube, and how many videos are viewed each day, we are insignificant when it comes to how much of an effect we make in YouTube. We were at a conference, or kind of like a retreat, and with Daryl, and he had some really, really big YouTubers in the room, and he showed us a channel. Do you remember how many views that one intro video had? Was it like 300 million or something like that?
It was like 384 million views.
384. Now remember, we're in a room with, how many people do you think were there? Like 100?
I'd say 60, about 60 people.
Okay, 60, and these are our full-time YouTubers. That's all they do. They have massive channels.
Millions of views over a month.
Millions of views. And he asked, hey, how many are familiar with this channel? And one 10-year-old kid raised his hand out of everyone.
And it wasn't a kid's channel.
It wasn't.
The channel that he was showing us was not a kid's
channel. It definitely was not a kid's channel.
But no, it was like Stimpy stuff.
But the thing is that so when you think, everyone's going to see my content.
Splash. No one will ever see it. It's oversaturated.
Yeah, when you say that, it just isn't true.
It's laughable.
There's so much blue ocean, and there are users every single day going on to YouTube. And, you know, we talk about this a lot, that, you know, you have Google that is the search engine #1 and YouTube is #2.
Yeah.
Like people go to YouTube to find out, either for entertainment, they go there if they have a need that they need fulfilled, they want to learn something, that's where they go.
What is the #1 streaming service?
YouTube.
Used to be Netflix.
Yep, not anymore.
Not anymore. It's YouTube. And it's very clear that, you know, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you've done this too. You probably barely watch regular, you know, the regular 3 channels, right? That we used to all watch every Thursday night, you know, family night. Everybody's going to sit down and watch these shows. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody trusts regular television. They certainly don't trust the news. So a lot of times when you're giving out this information, it's because they don't want to listen to what used to be trusted news sites. They'd much rather hear it from a regular person sitting there having a conversation with them. So
exactly,
I like it that way.
Donna has a good comment. She says, when posting new construction homes, do I only say the subdivision name, price, and 3-bedroom, 2-bath, not the address? Do I mention the builder?
I would always mention the builder, right? That's how I would do it. I'd be like, let's look inside this 3-bedroom, 2-bath house situated in McKinney, Texas, in Roswell subdivision, you know, you know, and then I would say like the lot size, and then I would be like walking outside going, the lot size of this is such and such, you know, and then say, let's open the front door, and then go into the front door, and then just walk through every single room, showing the ceiling, showing the crown all the way down the floorboards, you know, showing any kind of trim work, anything that you can spend a little time on. When you go in the kitchen, open the drawers, open the refrigerator if there is one, open the stove, turn on the gas, all those things people want to see. I know
it's just like doing a regular showing. Like think of them as, this person is right here by you, watching you show the house, and the things that are interesting or unique that pop up for you. You want to bring those things to attention. And just think of it as you're literally showing someone a home, but you're not just showing one person. You have the potential to show thousands of people with one video.
Yep. That was a great question.
It really was. We got another one here. You want to cover that one?
So one channel for home tours, and then a second channel for other things. Real estate example, reasons for moving to Gainesville, cost of living, things to do. Okay, so things to do and cost and move to Gainesville are 2 different things, right? You're going to identify who you're making content for, right? What's your avatar? Is your avatar a relocation person? How old is that person? You're going to have to really identify their pain points, so that way you're making the right content for that specific person. Because, you know, if your avatar is buying houses that are in the higher end price point, they're not worried about the cost of living, are they? No. They're not really worried about it.
They're probably more interested in like the schools, in the medical, like all of the things that, you know, and even like the type of homes, like the finishes, like the locations, the views. The other thing is, when you do like things to do or like that stuff, don't post videos like that. You're not a
tour guide.
Yeah, you're not a tour guide. Like, this is not like, I know it's really hard to wrap your brain around because it sounds so backwards, but like for your videos to gain traction, you need to be very specific to your viewer, and your viewer is someone that is interested in, if you're doing relocation, let's say, they're interested in what is there in your area that is unique or that offers something that would compel them to want to move there. And so think about making content for that person, like really think about them. And the easiest way to do that is when people relocate, ask them questions. And when they answer the questions, write them down and say, okay, what made you move here? Oh, well, we really like the weather, or we hate traffic and this, is way better, blah, blah, blah. Write this stuff down. Those are the things that people are interested in. If they're relocating, talk about those types of things, because that's not, hey, go to this restaurant and, do this, or that's secondary.
This is where you can play soccer,
Yeah, exactly.
We have a balloon festival next week. That isn't going to cut it. But the other thing you need to think about too is when you're doing these videos, if you knew that the people that you're making videos for were over 55, do you think the videos that you'd be making had anything to do with the school systems in your area? No, they don't care.
Nope.
They don't give a hell. So you have to, like I said before, you really need to understand who you're making videos for, so you're not making the wrong videos for the wrong audience. So that is one thing that we do teach. We tell you how to figure out who your avatar is. Yeah.
I mean, that is one of the things that when you, because it becomes easier to make content, right? Once you understand who you're making the videos for, it's a lot easier to go, oh, like this person, they're not going to want that. You all right there?
Dying, Joe. Dying.
Oh, man.
I'm checking in. I'm checking in. So good.
We need to take a break here. Kristina is, she went down the wrong pipe. But that is something that is,
I saw that. The hot tea. It wasn't very hot though. It's like, because it's got in here, it's cold. So I don't think I was expecting that. So it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Sorry.
That was awesome.
We got you off track. Get back on track.
No, we're back on track now. So all I was saying is that it makes it a lot easier if you're making content, if you know who that person is, or you have an idea of what, who you're speaking to. Because then, just like Kristina said, if you're doing something in a 55 and older community, you're definitely not talking about the schools. You're probably talking more about the hospitals and the places that have different types of treatment.
Communities.
Golf course, pickleball. I'll say that all the time, Yeah. But those are the things that will help you understand that and then making it. The other thing too is that maybe you're not working with those types of people, but you'd like to. So if you start making content for the type of person that you want to work with, you're going to attract those types of people. So
we show people how to do that too, how to shift your channel. So because you were like this, and now you're going to shift it to the way we're teaching you. So we teach you how to do that and how to relaunch your channel correctly. I've seen a few posts recently, and people are very confused on how to relaunch a channel. But we have a specific way. We show people how to relaunch their channel and relaunch it in the correct way. It really makes a huge difference. It makes a better difference if they start a brand new channel, but it makes a huge difference
if they want to keep their channel, right?
Yeah,
that is one thing too that I will say is that you're you can ask on any group, any forum, any people in your office, and everyone's going to have an opinion on how you should do something, and they're going to have an opinion of a lot of it's just wrong information. They'll say, well, should I do it this way or this way? And they'll be like, it doesn't matter. It matters. Things matter on how you do it, on certain things. But at the end of the day, do you want to follow that person or listen to that person that doesn't have a YouTube channel, or that maybe they have a YouTube channel, but they're not actually putting content out?
Or they've had very limited success. Because sometimes people can't see the bigger picture. The opportunity for YouTube is so much more than your little tiny space. So we show you that as well. And sometimes people are very satisfied with very limited success. And what we're trying to do is get you the most success possible. So you stay so incredibly busy that you have to hire a team. So we just have the best, I think we have the best practices when it comes to either A, setting up a brand new channel and starting fresh, or B, relaunching that channel and having much more success. Another problem is that a lot of times people are making the same videos in your area with the same titles, the same type of content. How many agents that live in a certain area have pros and cons moving to, living in, they all do it. And then a new agent comes in your area, and then they do it. Then another one, another one, another one. You're capping out your possibility for viewership when you do those videos over and over and over again. It's not saying that you can't do it. I'm not saying that you can't, but you're only doing search traffic. Yep. And so your ideas are going to get thinner and thinner and thinner. And then you're going to say, my market's oversaturated because everybody's following.
Because it's not working anymore because you have 50 agents doing the same thing and
with the same titles and just round rottering it all over again, you know? And then your traffic source is search traffic, and that search traffic is extremely limiting. And I have been taught forever, like, oh, it's always about search. You got to get search. Search is just the tip of the iceberg. You really want to get that suggested and browse traffic because that's where the big numbers, the big money is. So
I concur. The thing is, though, Kristina, like, how do you get that then? Because that's the thing that I think people, you know, it's like, well, how do you get to where, you know, someone can end up on someone's For You page or their homepage? How does that work?
If your intent is very clear with your videos and you've put out the right playlists that connect to one another, that relate to your avatar, the next time you put out videos in any one of those playlists, YouTube will suggest it to other avatars that are just like the one that you've made content to. And then that browse traffic is people that are possibly your avatar. So you'll like, that's why you want that. Those are people who've never seen your face before, that have never interacted with your content. And then that suggested traffic is just, it's golden.
So it's golden, but it could be dangerous too, right? Because YouTube's always testing. So it's testing it, putting it out there. But if you have a crappy thumbnail and you have a crappy title and you have no structure in your video content, what does that do when it is suggested and no one clicks on it?
Yeah. Well, years ago, I saw somebody on stage, very impressed with their channel. And they said, I've had over 1 million impressions to my channel last month. And I was like, huh. So I went over there and they had over 1 million impressions to their channel. And they had put out 4 videos. So over 1 million impressions. And they had 4 videos. One of the videos had 1,000 views. Another one had 700 views. Another one had nearly 1,000 views. And then the last one had just about 800 views. 1 million impressions in that small group of people that only clicked on it. That means their title and their thumbnail was terrible. Yeah. But when people don't understand what impressions mean, and
it showed up on the page. They didn't do anything. It's basically like the way that you could think of an impression is if you opened up a newspaper and you saw an ad on that page for at like any number of seconds, that's an impression. Like basically it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it does mean something. It means that his title and his thumbnail was terrible because he had like no clicks. But like what it really means is like what we teach is you want to get them to click the video and then you want them to watch it. You want views and watch time. Like those are the things that matter.
Rebecca has a very good point. I think everybody needs to understand this before we get into the channel reviews. She wants me to talk about viral videos that other realtors will copy and will not have the same success. And she probably wants to know what that is, you know, and most people want to know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a perfect example. Paul Likens has been a real estate YouTuber for quite some time. He finally had his viral moment, right? And like immediately every YouTuber under the sun was like, oh, look, I'm going to go make it. And then when they go make it, all they're doing is chasing views. That's all they're doing. They're trying to find what they call trend jacking. So all they're trying to do is find out what the newest trend is and make that video, hurry up and put it out as quickly as possible. The problem with that is that, first of all, it's exhausting. Secondly of all, you can have a problem because you haven't identified who your avatar is. You don't know their age group. And if you happen to go viral again, you're not going to get many reach outs because you're all over the place. You know, one minute you're talking about manufactured homes, the next minute you're talking about, you know, like condos, you know, like the next minute you're talking, like you haven't really clarified what your messaging is. So, you know, you can do it. Don't get me wrong. If you have the time to sit there and comb the internet every single day, finding out what the top performing real estate videos are and just keep pumping out content, you know, every other day, yeah, go for it. But my goal for you is one very intentional, very well done video that will get you the most leads possible, so that way you can continue that without burnout.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that we have a strategy that we teach so that this is something that is sustainable. Like you can adopt it into part of your marketing time that you do, or part of your prospecting that you do. It's just doing it more effectively. And the big thing that you can still have a viral video, you can still have all of these things happen and still not get like the conversion that you would think you would get with a viral video. Just because a lot of people watch it, if you miss certain things, especially like a call to action, and then a way to then not only have that call to action, but then a way to gather that information, you are leaving so many things, so many leads, so many people, like you're leaving it to where you are not going to be able to convert. But learning what we teach and learning how to have these call to actions in a very specific and natural way, and then also having it to be something that is super easy for the user or the viewer to actually reach out, that process is also just as important as your thumbnail and title, because you want the lead. And if you make it difficult for them to get because you just want people to see the IDX, you're wasting that link. And we teach those things because you can get a lot of views and still not have very many leads if you do it right, if you do it the wrong way.
I've seen a few people that are like, I got over 500,000 views. Do you know how many leads I got from that? 0. And I'm like, you did something wrong.
Yeah. You missed something.
A lot of things. And then that's what happens is like, I can't help myself because curiosity kills me. So I'm going over there. I'm like, well, I know why. I know why that didn't work for you.
Hey, you forgot to tell them to like do something, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, or they made it like literally impossible. Like you had to go into their about section to even find where they could locate them, you know, like, or they had 70,000 links to other stuff, you know.
The thing is that what we teach is you really have to go the path of least resistance when it goes to someone giving you their information.
Easy.
And you better be offering something of value so that they're willing to trade their information for the value that you're giving.
Yep. I concur, Joe Eves.
Yeah.
Let's get into some channel reviews. And
all right, let's do it.
This will help some people. This young man, I believe, spoke to me today. I think that was him that called, that texted me today. So let's get into right away. Love the banner. Super simple. The only thing I would probably add is just some kind of value proposition. What do you say, Joe?
Yeah, just because just looking at it, it's beautiful and everything, but I don't know if this is like a tropical hotel or if this is, you know, like a real estate. Yeah. So definitely just something with a value proposition so that in an instant, I know that's real estate related.
Yeah. And if you're going to talk about Cape Coral on this channel, I would have more of an image of Cape Coral. Is Cape Coral known for its pools? I don't think so. You know, like what is Cape Coral known for? And that would be the image I would use.
I concur. I do like that he has the Calendly link. But can we click on that really fast? This is something that I want you guys to think about.
Okay.
This is great. But let's say that someone is creeping on your channel and they're watching the content you're making, but they don't want to schedule an appointment with you. So what I would do is if you use Calendly, you'll pick out your time, you'll pick out your day, and then you'll hit submit. And then it'll load a form where they can register their name, phone number, email. I would switch those two. And I don't know if Calendly can do that, but if it can't, then you should definitely have another squeeze page or landing page where they can put their name, phone number, and email, and a little section where they can ask a question, because that right here, if they go away, so let's say they clicked on that and then they go away, you just lost the lead, because they may not be ready to talk to you or to schedule an actual appointment. Maybe they just want to ask a question first. So it's so much easier and is way more effective to actually have the captured information very, very first and then load this page. So if they decide they don't want to schedule an appointment, you still have their information that you can follow up with. And that's something that, like, if you're doing online lead generation, like that's 101. Like, you collect their information very first.
Yep. All right, let's go back to it. All right.
But hey, at least he has a Calendly link, so that's great.
Yeah. So yeah, and he doesn't have any other links to a bunch of other stupid, silly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So welcome to our YouTube channel, Dreaming of a perfect home in Southwest Florida. Explore. I don't hate it. I just take this up. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, start with Dreaming with a Perfect Home in Southwest Florida.
Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to put your just contact information as far as like a
phone number
and your brokerage, and you may want to, I don't know, you may want to check with your board, but like our board here in Louisiana and several other states, this about section has to have the address of the brokerage and the name of it in the about section. Some states actually even require your license number to be in there. My state doesn't. I just put it in there because I figured, I know at some point they're probably going to ask us to put it in there, and I don't want to have to think about it in the future, so I put it there. So just, I mean, I don't know if that's something with Florida, but I would just look into that, because I don't want, because there's some jerk that's going to say, oh, look what they're doing. I don't like that.
Yeah.
There's always
it's something simple, and it's not going to bother anyone. If it's down there at the bottom, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right, so let's take a look at Joshua's. All right, so we've got must-see Babcock Ranch home tour. He's right over almost at 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to say about that thumbnail?
Okay, a couple things. Like the house, you could definitely bring the house closer, make it more like stand out in the image. The other thing is, like, don't use red colored fonts. Like, just do a nice big bulky white font. And the way that this house is, it's beautiful like that. Just bring it forward, get rid of the Babcock Ranch home, get rid of that stuff, bring the house up, and then have the sales price really, really big at the very, very top. Almost part of it could even go kind of behind the roof line to get, so that it'll pop. But and then I would even, and this is going to be more of like a little bit of a nitpick, but I would even make the skies bluer, like really blue, and then the greens really green. Like, make it almost oversaturated.
Right. So if you don't have like a thumbnail creating type of app, and you're like, I don't know if I really want to like download Canva or PicMonkey or Photoshop, you can download. You can get a free app called Snapseed, and with that like specific thumbnail, you could increase the sharpness and clarity and saturation to the point where it looks like a much more professional, crisp photograph. Yeah, and you just don't need these words on here, because it already says Babcock Ranch home tour on the title, so you don't need that on there. And Joe and I have looked at numerous channels, and the ones that have the most successful touring channels, they get the most clients, are the ones that have the house, a big blue skyline, the price over top, and if the numbers get cut off by the roof line in the back, people don't care. They just want to see that it's 300,000, like
Mhm.
nobody cares that part of the O's were cut off by the roof line.
It actually kind of helps people like stop scrolling and being like, because it's a little different than just a regular how you'd normally see the number.
Yep, that is true. That is true. And then this one right here. Why are we selling our home, our lakefront home? I don't know if that necessarily goes with the rest of the touring channel. It did well. I mean, it's doing well, 488 views. It's a great test, but I don't know if that necessarily falls in line with the rest of it. And I'm so thankful that you stopped putting your little floating image like a paper doll off of there, where you're cut off at the bottom. Like this, these are miles better, miles better than these. What do you say, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I like you'll just notice. I mean, I can't even read what that text is. Luxury. It's so hard to see. Like, you don't need that stuff on there.
There's actually a price on there. If you look really, really hard, there's a,
is that yellow?
Yeah. So it says Cape Coral tour reveals stunning golf access, and it's like $2.5 million, but it's in yellow, and it's very difficult to see. And nobody's gonna even pay attention to that. Like, nobody's going to take the time that I just took to figure out how much that house is going to cost and zoom in and look at it. You have to make it very clear and very intentional. Like, look at the lettering on this one. The lettering on this one pops so good, right? With that blue skyline. Can't see it here. But I mean, he got better.
Yeah, I mean, it looks better. I mean, his very last thumbnail is like the very best one of like his home tours that he's done.
Oh, there's another one down here. There. Look, this one. This one's pretty good. It looks black and white though.
Yeah. It doesn't look. Yeah,
there's no contrast.
Yeah, it's like you gotta like sharpen the image and do some more saturation.
Look, you see this driveway? It's not concrete, it's brick, and that brick is the same color as the house.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
Yeah, but you could add more contrast to the shirt, right?
Yeah, of course.
Up the saturation of the shirt and the grass, and then take that skyline out and put a blue skyline there.
Yeah, the gray just, I mean, the gray would work great if you were doing something with like doom and gloom, but like look at if you look at that thumbnail and then you look 2 thumbnails over in the blue, look at how much more that blue pops.
It literally looks like the exact same house.
Yeah, except for it pops way more than the other. But if you're doing home tours, like, you don't need to be on them, obviously, and just as much color as possible, and then the price, they'll do much better if you do that.
I concur, Joe Eves. I concur. So that will get you started on some tips for your channel. Joshua Pina, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you letting us give you a little tips. And by the way, you can come back every single week and get some more tips on your channel. But if there's something specific you want us to know, and just go ahead and fill out the form again and ask us exactly what it is you want to know, that we can help you with.
Yep.
So, all right, we got this next one. We got the NorCal Life Real Estate Group. I like the banner. I don't like the value proposition.
Yeah, there isn't one.
Right.
So she needs to update her banner anyway, because the button's not there anymore.
Right.
So like that could be a reason to update it. But yeah, you definitely need to have something that you're exchanging. The other thing I would personally is I would have your face. That picture's like a very nice picture. Just put your face on the profile. Don't use the logo. People don't relate with that,
This should be down here.
Yeah.
Move that down here, leave that up here. And then you don't need this where it says NorCal Life Real Estate Group, and then have it again, NorCal Life Real Estate Group. They can read it here. They don't need it here.
Yeah.
You just put your value proposition. What is it that the viewer is going to get from your content? and 5 short words. That's it. Yay! All right, let's look at their about section because this is really good. This is always important. All right, we got too many links going on here. Let's see what the first link is. I'm going to see if it connects to like a Calendly or something like that, because that's what we've been talking about. That's what will get you the most leads, is if you have something really super easy, a nice, easy landing page for your avatar to use. So this one is we're here to serve all real estate needs in Chio Pero. Okay, so it immediately says you to buy or sell.
So go back up and just click on buy.
Okay. It's gonna take a minute, so we're gonna have to sing a song while it loads. Oh, it says it's not working.
Okay, go back.
Doing that, Joe Eves. It's not working. Okay, hold on.
So yeah, like maybe.
Why is it not working? Let's try.
Well, I don't know. Like maybe the links are broken or it's not up to date. But this
still say that this needs to be just something. Yeah, that isn't working either.
Go back one more. And okay, so now this is a user experience. It's someone that wanted to get a hold of you. This is what they're getting. So now they would bounce at that point. They wouldn't even go back, but go back to up at the top menu and go to buy or sell on it. Click on either of those. See if that will load the page.
Who knows? It might be me. It could be
well, no, if it's not loading, I mean, if you're clicking on it, it's not loading.
That's
so her site's, she's got something going on with her site. Like, looks like there's some linking issues or whatever, but like that. So if you're wondering why you're not getting leads, that's why. Like, this is a really good thing, is you should be checking wherever you're sending someone, you should be checking that link regularly to make sure that it's working, because there's nothing more frustrating than putting all this effort together. You get ready to launch, you put your channel, you make all this stuff, and then you have broken links. Maybe your web guy forgot to.
Here's one that works.
What's that?
Here's one that works.
Okay.
This one works.
Let's see. Like, great. Wait, go back up.
This is a book that. So you're picking up garbage in your area, like you're picking up around your house and doing some stuff. So they have. You can rent their stuff. Yeah.
So don't do that. Like, that's the thing, is like, and maybe your buy now or your sell is working, but like, obviously this is great for us to test it so you can get your web guy on there to fix it. But you really need to just one quick button. They click on it and it's a form automatically where you can get their information. It hits submit. It emails you and them, and you can move forward in following up with those leads.
Yep.
But yeah, that's no bueno if you're not getting leads. You got to double check that. So hey, great for submitting the channel review so that we could find that for you.
Yeah. Yep. And then I'm just going to tell you really quick, you don't need to put like the Facebook, LinkedIn, unless you have a huge following that is extremely active on those sites. The only thing you really want them to do is fill out the form so they become your client. All these other things are just distracting, and then it takes you away from what you really want them to do, which is to be your client.
Hey, click on the want more info, let's talk. Hopefully that form works. If that works, you can get rid of everything else except for that link.
It's cooking, it's thinking. Let's do it. Come on. I think I can. I can. It's not
loading anything.
No.
Yeah. So, just check. I know people bounce sometimes from brokerage to brokerage. Okay. So it's loading kind of like a Calendly.
Yep.
So I would just get rid of all the other links and have it go here first.
Bingo. That's what I would do. Yep. Because it's very specific.
Yep. And it doesn't matter. Like I wouldn't even have the buy or sell as an option. Just have it go here. You'll get that information when you follow up with them.
Yep. I'm just going to warn you too, though. When you start getting busier with this, using this as a lead source, this calendar stuff is going to drive you absolutely bonkers because people are going to move stuff around. They're going to call you because, oh, I booked it for this time, but I really want this time. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to just simplify it and just ask what they want. Like, what is your name? What is your last name? What's your email? What's your phone number? Or do you want to buy or sell? Leave it as simple as that. So you can call them on your time and you can email them on your time. And I know this is going to sound absolutely insane because in the world that we live in with the internet, YouTube buyers and sellers are so much more forgiving than other lead sources. Because I literally forgot about an email that I meant to answer 2 weeks ago. This lady wanted a real estate agent in Michigan, forgot all about her, went to Utah, got up this morning, and I went, oh, I never sent the lady the freaking real estate agent's name. Felt like total garbage. Call her up, and she was like, oh, thank you for calling. We're busy. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? Like, I kind of laughed because all the other times are like, you didn't pick up the phone in 5 minutes. I left this lady on red for 2 weeks, and she was just thankful that I wasn't too busy enough to give her an agent's name.
You know, that's the beauty of like these type of leads is because you've already built a rapport. You've already built something. You don't know that you've done that, but they do because they've been creeping on your page. Maybe they haven't ever commented, but they've been following you. They've been watching you. And then you hit a nerve that got them to go, I need to reach out to them. And that right there is the biggest difference between getting a online lead that you buy from Zillow or you buy like all this other garbage stuff that everyone's competing with, and you have someone that you actually have already built a rapport with, and they almost are like starstruck that you called them because they're like, I can't believe you're calling me. Like I've been watching you for months, and you now all of a sudden you're reaching out to me. They're way more forgiving. And not only forgiving, but they're way more open to listening to what you have to say. A lot of the internet leads, if you do regular internet leads, if you don't follow up with them within a few minutes, they're gone to someone else. And they have no loyalty, even if you do work with them through automations and drip campaigns and all this stuff. And then they show up to town when you're on vacation, they find somebody else. Like there's no loyalty. The leads that you get from YouTube are so much better. They're so much higher quality, and they're willing to wait to work with you.
I didn't even have to look, but I already knew. I'm like, these two thumbnails right here are the best.
We can't see the page. Switch it.
These two thumbnails. Can you see it now?
Yep.
These two thumbnails, look at them here. 2,300 views, 1,400 views. These right here or the most eye-catching thumbnails that you have on your channel currently for the last 3 months. For some reason, you got away from this specific style that was getting the clicks, and you went to something like this, where you made yourself much smaller and in the corner with red lettering and black lettering, and you're not getting nearly the same amount of views. This looks messy. This looks sleek and polished.
The reason why is you mentioned it is you can see her face clearly.
Yeah.
And her face is easy to see. The yellow pops off. And again, like what we were talking about, that number is disrupted a little bit because it's behind. And then it's the same thing. Those two things are patterns. And we teach our students to recognize patterns that you see that. Mm-hmm. And if that stuff is working, use it until it doesn't. Like mm-hmm. there are so many YouTubers that will have the exact same face. The facial expression is identical. Maybe stuff in the background of the thumbnail changes a little bit, but it does not change. Their face does not change. and they get massive views, and because they know their audience and they know what the algorithm is, like the people, the viewers are clicking on that because for whatever reason it resonates with them. So don't deviate. Even if you're like, well, I don't want them to all look the same. Do you care if they all look the same, or do you want your phone to ring? Do you want to be able to work with people and get more views? That's what it comes down to.
I'm not a big fan of this one, but I don't have to be a big fan of it.
Her thumbnails got busier, like as if she's using a different designer. Like the styles look totally different between the Paradise.
The pros and con ones is good. This is a good thumbnail. Because look, she's taking up one. Can you see this?
Yeah, she's got the one. She's using the rule of thirds for sure.
This is literally almost letter perfect. And like even this one for her listing, perfect.
Yeah, the tour.
Yeah, like look at the clarity on that. Look at the nice blue sky, and you see the trees.
But go to the latest now, like.
Okay. But it's so busy. Like this looks.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I wonder if she changed designers, because that's a totally different style of design than what you saw with the other thumbnails.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not taking up 1/3 of the screen. You know, I'm going to let you guys know. You don't have to put the city on the thumbnail. Just put 400K. That's it. That's all you have to do if you're going to do home tours. Yeah. You don't even have to have your image on there. You don't even just take it off. Just put it up. Because it looks like that's what she's mostly doing is home tours.
Yeah. So we got a comment here. Hello, Arizona Real Estate. It says, I want to sign up for your class before prices go up. Where do I sign up?
I'm going to give you a link right now. Kristina can do that. Kristina can do that. You know what? You're really lucky too, because we're actually closing out lifetime coaching. You will get lifetime coaching. It's only going to be the one-time fee, and you will always get lifetime coaching. But anyone that signs up after 13 days, did we say? I keep forgetting.
It's on the website. If you go to the website, there's a little countdown ticker.
Yep.
I think it's 13 days, 13 or so, some hours counting.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I just put the link in the chat right there, so you can go ahead and click on that and join it. It's also in the description of this video. So that was a great place to stop. I appreciate you. Hello, Arizona Real Estate. That was thank you. Those are some good tips for North Cal real estate too, because I think you could do really well. Like honestly, you have some really well done thumbnails in there, and that's like really super difficult.
Yeah, her facial expressions like on the thumbnails are actually really, really good. They're just too small.
Yeah, well, but the ones with the big ones, like where she's taking up 1/3, like that, like literally is almost letter perfect.
Right. Yeah, no, they look great.
They look really good. Well, oh God. So, all right, Joe Eves, we have another class to run for our students, and that will be starting in about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yeah. So everybody, just so you know, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe this, because we come in here every Thursday, every week, and we'd like to get more people on board, because we like helping you real estate agents get as many leads as possible. So, all right, Joe.
All righty.
I never realized I left the music running the whole time. How obnoxious.
Oh, you'll hear about it in the comments.
Yeah. If you want to get some
doing your pitch, because the radio, the sound was so loud.
The music was going the whole time. But I've done that before. I didn't.
I have too, and then they get all annoyed, and then they tell you all about it.
Yeah, sorry. Oh well, we should end with some happy music. Let's find something good. Let's see if I can find something good.
What do we got that's happy?
I usually have the same one. There's one that I always just like. Here, this is ready. This is the one I really like. You know it. Ready?